Good morning, Americans and humans. This is your favorite alien with a new video today on December 31st, 2024, the last day of the year. And it's Human Extinction Part 2. Or in my last video, I told you that you guys are the only ones that cause your extinction. And you never realize how to change it. And let me go a little further than that in this video. In all the centuries before the 20th century, and all through the 20th century, halfway through, you guys had a lot of wars that you thought with each other. By 1945, in the 20th century alone, you had killed over 150 million people. 150 million in 100 years. Wow. That's a lot there, boys. But your percentage of killing, because your population was getting bigger, was getting lower. By the end of the 20th century, you had about 6 billion people. So 150 million, if you take 6 billion, 10% would be 600 million, 1%, 60 million. So you were just over 1.5% of your global population you killed in the entire wars from 1900 to 1999. You take the 19th century, your population was a lot worse. And you take the 18th century, from 1700 to 1799, you killed over 2.5% of your total planet population in that century. You go even further than that, all the way to the Roman times, say, 100 BC down to 0. So the 100 years. In the Roman Empire alone, through the world population that they had at the time estimated, it was about 7.5% of your population killed by war. Whew. And the reason why your population so far, since 1945 to 2025, so that's an 80-year population, 80-year difference, almost 100 years, you have killed less than 0.5% of your population. And that's due to thinking by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Although it was faulty in some places, it had some good ideas. He created what I call a joke, which was the United Nations, to halt the spread of world wars. And that he's accomplished so far. But the United Nations is a joke, because it was flawed from the start. It created police actions. So, since its creation in 1945, you've had the Korean War, 38,000 Americans alone, plus other people. So let's say about 50,000 total dead civilians and all military from all the nations, from the United Nations and the Koreans and Chinese. 50,000, okay? Vietnam, all the Vietnamese, north, south, military and civilian, Russian and Americans together, maybe about 75,000. That's 125,000 in those two wars alone. and then another 20,000 since 1973 to 1999. So you see, it wasn't very much, but it still was a lot of people still getting killed. From 2000 to 2025, with all the wars around the world, you killed over 50,000 already. And most of them, wars between the Israelis, Iranians, and Palestinians. Ukrainians and Russians, and the Chinese in their home country, they're still fighting the war with Tibet, which they don't talk about it, hey, 1959 till now. So as an alien from another planet, I'm saying, what the heck? And your governing bodies are a joke. Like I said, the United Nations is a joke. The United States is a joke. You reelected Donald J. Trump, a convicted felon. Boy, he hasn't been sentenced, but he's still convicted. How can you understand that? And then you elected a guy that shouldn't have been president, Joseph Biden. There's been a lot of guys that shouldn't have been president, but him, he should never have been president. Neither should have Donald J. Trump. But that's in your court. You elected them. Oh, as an alien here. So what I'm saying is, the United States is supposed to be the top dog on this planet. And you started out well. You created, like I told you in my numerous videos before, a doctrine and a prime directive. And you say, what the hell is a prime directive? Star Trek? No. It's a precursor to Star Trek. And Gene Roddenberry tried to tell you that when he created his prime directive in Star Trek. If you read the prime directive from Star Trek, he's quoting and paraphrasing your preamble to the Constitution, where the Federation is there to act as the United States Federation. Promote the general welfare of the different entities in the Federation. In Star Trek, it's the different planets, the Tellarites, the Vulcans, the Andorians, and the subsequent planets that joined the Federation. Remember, there was 4 originals. In the United States, it's the 13 original members of the Federation, and the subsequent numbers that made it up to 50 so far. Mr. Trump wants to add 2 more, Canada and Panama, 51 and 52. And how about the Puerto Ricans? Hey, they're a Commonwealth. Aren't they going to be number 51? Nobody knows about that, huh? Okay. But be that as it may, your preamble, promote the general welfare and provide for the common defense. Those two have never seen the light of day since 1776. Or 1789. And looks like under Trump, they'll never see the light of day either. Under any president subsequent to Trump, too. Because you forgot how to govern. That is in your court. You're going to cease to exist as the United States after Trump's second term because it's going to be 10 times worse than his first one was, and 100 times worse than Joseph Biden's 4-year administration. Oh, I know your history, and I know how it ends. And you guys haven't listened to me since I've started this almost 10 years ago. So why listen now, right? Yeah. But trust me, I told you Trump would be right back, and you guys sent me those emails like, what do you mean? He's a convicted felon. He can't run anymore. Really? And here he is, president-elect. And he's going after his people that got him convicted. And all the ones that, we're going to impeach Trump.